Because there are three ways in which people live, and there are three ways in which people die. Some people, their life consists of, I breathe, I eat, I have fun, I walk, I run, I make money, I enjoy myself. My body is satisfied. And then, tragically, they die, they get buried. What is the cemetery? A home of burial. A body doesn't live forever, a body dies. Other people, they dedicate their time not just to their body, they take care of their body, it's critical, but they also know that a human being has a soul. A human being has a mission. A human being was conceived by God in love. A human being has an inner human spark that doesn't die. We have a soul that's a piece of God that lives even after the body dies. And they dedicate themselves to a life that nurtures their soul, their spirituality, their conscience, their holiness. Through acts of goodness and kindness and mitzvot and study and so forth. And when they die, the cemetery is a home of eternity, bet olam, bet almin, because the soul is eternal even though the body tragically dies. But then there are other people. There are people who not only nurture themselves physically and spiritually, there are people who inspire other human beings and impact other people in unforgettable ways. And when they die, there are people who continue to live by their example. There are people who continue to live by their ideals. There are people who continue to live by their inspiration. So when you look at their place of burial, you say, Beit HaChaim, it's a home of life, even though tragically they're not here. But you look, there are people who are living, inspired by their commitments, by their dreams, by their values. In post-Holocaust Jewry, in Berlin and in the rest of the world, there were some Jews who decided, let us turn Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen and Mauthausen and Dachau and Treblinka and Birkenau into a Bet HaKvarot, into a home of burial. Let us remember, let us build monuments, let us create documentaries, let us build museums, let us build tombstones, and that is important. To remember the murder, to remember the death, to remember the tragedy. Others spoke about the fact the body may not be here, but the souls are eternal. The vision of the Lubavitcher Rebbe was, he told his disciples, I want your mission to be to create a Beit HaChaim. How? By inspiring Jews to continue the lives of the Jews who perished. So that you'll be able to look at a Jewish woman, a Jewish girl, a Jewish woman going into the mikveh and say, in 1930 and in 1938 and in 1928 and in 1908 and in 1888, there were hundreds of thousands of millions of Jewish women who used the mikveh. They and their children were killed, were decimated. But their life was not destroyed. Because you're doing exactly what your Baba did. And your Elta Baba. And your great-great-grandmother Tulsera. It's a home of life. It's extremely important to remember the death. But equally, maybe even more important, it is to perpetuate the life. To take the ashes and turn them into a catalyst for a springboard for new life and vitality and animation and renewed commitment. And that's the celebration of the mikveh today. So I thought, with all the horror and pain that we're experiencing, it is indeed a tribute to the holy souls of Gabby and Rivka Holzberg. May God avenge their blood. That just a few days after their massacre, before their funeral, with the bureaucracy of India, it's going to take a few days till their bodies are brought to Israel perhaps by tomorrow or by Tuesday, when they will be interred in the city of Jerusalem, even before their funerals. To sit here in Berlin, which for so long and for at some point had such a powerful symbol of destruction for the Jewish world, and turn it into a Beis HaChayim, a place of new vigor and life, because that is the mikveh. The mikveh is the symbol of new life, based on intimacy, based on a marriage that has that power, that has that depth, and that has that commitment. I began with an anecdote. I want to finish with an anecdote. And the anecdote I want to conclude with is a husband was very stressed out, very, very horrible. Came home. His wife says, "Got to go to the doctor." Like every Jewish wife, takes him to the doctor. They go to the doctor. Doctor checks him out, sends him out of the room, calls in the wife. "Bad news. Your husband works too hard. He's stressed out. He's going to deteriorate. In 10 months, he's going to die. What do we do?" The doctor says, "You follow my rules. 5 rules for 10 months. Your husband will be spared." What are your rules? Rule number 1, when your husband comes home from work, dinner must be ready on the table. You can't think about making dinner. You can't be on the phone with your friend. "What are you making for dinner?" Dinner must be ready on the table, 6 courses with a plastic covering the plate to retain the heat, and make sure the doctor said it's not healthy food. Men don't like that. They need deadly food, the food that kills people all over the place, like meat and potato. Rule number 2, the doctor says, when your husband finishes eating, even if he offers to clean up, don't let him clean up. Say, "Darling, please don't help me. You're stressed. You lie down on the couch and watch television. I will do the dishes and sweep and mop and do the laundry and get the house together. And when I'm finished at 3:30 in the morning, I will lie down on the couch with you." The third thing the doctor says is, you have to compliment your husband's ego at least 25 times a day. "Yes, I know you should have been the Prime Minister of Israel. I know. You should have been the Chancellor of Germany. I know. You should have been the President instead of Obama. I know. Number 4, you should fulfill all of your husband's desires," the doctor says. I'm a rabbi, I can't elaborate. Number 5, you can't ever disagree with your husband again. Whatever your husband says, he's automatically right. Even though you know he's wrong, you can't disagree. If you do this for 10 months, his stress level will be reduced and will save his life. They leave the office, they get into the car. He turns to his wife, he says, "Honey, you were there for such a long time. What did the doctor say?" She tells him, "The doctor said that you are going to die." And so, my dear friends, on this great day, as your husbands and your wives together we prepare to live and renew life through the mikveh, I bless you that your relationships for the next 50 years and for the 50 years afterwards should pass like 2 days, like Purim and Simchas Torah. Thank you very much.